We're live. Oh, we are live. We are live, and I've got my new software with stuff. Hold on a minute. That stuff going on the bottom. That shouldn't be there. Sorry. Yes. Look at this. And I've got a webcam set up using my professional mic. Hope the mic's working. Mic number one, mic number one. Is the mic working? I did a webinar using this mic. I've got to look over there now, using this mic, and it wasn't working for about 20 minutes. And then someone said on the comments, there's no audio. So I hope this pro mic that I've got here, Pro School mic, is working. So I'm hoping that there will be, please tell me if the mic's not working, or, okay, write a note. Oh. Yeah, so we've got some questions today. We've got a question about autoimmune diseases, and we've got and breast implants. We've got a question. Shona Hughes is on. Look at that. You see, I've got the, I don't know, can you see? I've got it. I can hear you. I was just about to say, is the mic working? I was just about to say, and Shona, and watch this. Do you see that? Hello from Turin, Italy. Could you see that on the screen? Now this is my new software. I'm going to go like that, and I say that Shona can hear me fine. So this is what I'm talking about. This is a proper, you know, we're proper live Q&A here. So I'm going to hide that. You know, this can see and hear you fine. I can have comments showing on screen. Gone are the days where I do the broadcast, I come off, and there's all these comments that I've totally missed. And then I have to, like last week, I have to go back on again. And I've had to like answer the comments afterwards. The comments are they're all here. They're all here. And I'm seeing them, and it's all, and in case you didn't know, I meant to put this on at the beginning. I put the wrong one on the beginning. In case you didn't know what this is, live, oh God, live Q&A with plastic surgeon. What's that? How often is it? Well, I'll tell you how often it is. It's every Tuesday at 7 p.m. That's when it is. This is the new level of what we're going to here. Proper, you know, get that off the screen. Proper Q&A situation here. So if anyone's got any comments, please do comment. But also, if you have any questions, you can ask me straight on. I've got some questions. There was three, and I've got another one, and I can't remember what the third one. Autoimmune diseases and breast implants, local anaesthetic and general anaesthetic, and starving and things. What was the other one? Oh man, what was the other one? Anyway, I'll try and get the other one. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. I'm also going to answer a question that I've just got from a patient who, not a patient, a chap who has inquired about dents following his gynecomastia. He's inquired before, and he's just done. I can't, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. I can't see your video, and you can't see my video. Oh my God, am I audio only? Hold on a minute. Having said that, Shona can see and hear fine. Right. So, it's not Antoine, is it? It's Antonietta. Antonietta, you can't see my video. What can I say? If anyone else can see video, can anyone else see video or not see video? So proud of this new software, but you can see, oh, I've got to sort out the background, haven't I? Oh God, you can see all those toner cartridges and the fuse box. Oh, I haven't thought this through. The fuse box is, how do we get the fuse box out? Then you see, oh God, the filing cabinet. Oh, then you see the, right. Anyway, we'll work. Anyway. Antonietta, Shona can hear and see me fine. Antonietta, you don't need to see me because it's a bit of a not very good background, Antonietta. So what I'm going to say is, if you can't see me, I'm sorry about that. I'll try and sort that out for next week. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, but I'll try and sort that out. There's my camera there. My camera number 1. We're on camera 1. Try and sort it out next week. And but just, yeah, the hearing is the main thing. So right, let's get into this, because this is, you know what else I'm going to say? I'm going to say, you can't see this, but look at that. Scrolling through. Please comment and share. Please comment and share. That is cool. Is it just me? I think this is great. I love it. Maybe it is just me. I'm going to get that third question here. Oh, that's right. The big tattoo. The chat with the big tattoo. That's right. That was the third one. Right. So question number 1, autoimmune disease. Right, we've got this. The patient has seen another doctor. I don't think I've seen this patient at all, but anyway, she's seen someone. I can get that off now, that comment and share thing. Seen someone who has, she's thinking about breast implants, and she is worried about autoimmune diseases because she's read a lot on the internet about autoimmune diseases and breast implants. And the answer to that is greetings, Kirsten. Look at that. Kirsten says greetings, and I say greetings back because I am, well, I'm all over these comments, all over them. Not like usual. Breast implants and autoimmune disease. So basically, the thing is that years ago in America, a lot of people came forward and said that these implants made them feel ill. They started to get rheumatoid arthritis. They got SLE and all these connective tissue diseases, and they said it was due to the implants. And so they took implants off the market in America for a long time. They removed silicone breast implants off the market because they thought they made you ill. They've done some massive studies, and they've shown no connection between silicone implants and autoimmune diseases. So they're back on the market in America. We've always used them in Europe, and we haven't stopped using them. For a long time in America, they couldn't use them, so they use saline implants. They still use quite a few saline implants in America, but in this country, we don't really use saline implants because silicone implants have got quite a few benefits, which we can talk about. Maybe another one. Maybe I'll talk about that if you want, but over saline. But anyway, having said that, this person saying, yeah, but you know, this doctor's saying there's no link and all this, and I've heard from all these people who, you know, saying that they've made them ill and they've had them removed and they feel better. I have to say there are people out there who have say that the implants made them feel ill and they feel better when the implants are removed. But that is a fact. Those people exist. But at the same time, I have to say there's no scientific link between implants and autoimmune diseases. But that doesn't mean there isn't one. It just means we haven't found one. So we feel that they are safe to use. Do we still use them? And the people who have this illness and feel unwell are a vast minority. There's a huge amount of people out there with implants in. And when they've done the studies, they said, look, it just so happens that some people will get ill at some time. And if you put enough breast implants in, that illness will coincide with the timing of the breast implants. And it's not necessarily due to the breast implants, although the patient feels that it's due to the breast implants because it happened just after they had the breast implants in. But there's no evidence for it. It is what we call anecdotal evidence. When you speak to someone and they say, oh, yeah, I had implants in and I felt ill, therefore the implants were causing that. That's anecdotal evidence. It's not scientific, but I'm not saying you should discard it. At the end of the day, you've got to make a decision on whether implants is right for you. And so you need to weigh up the pros and cons. You got to think of what the pros are to you of having implants versus the cons of this autoimmune thing that you're worried about, and make a decision. So yeah, there's no evidence for it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Hope that's helpful. Question number 1. You know what? You know what I can do? I can say immune. I should have done this before I answered the question, because check this out. How's that? Pretty cool. That's question number 1. What's question number 2 you're saying to me? And I'm saying to you that is local anaesthetic and general anaesthetic. Okay, so we're going to hide that. And then for those of you who are not, hi Terry, I'm going to do this to you, Terry. I'm going to say big up yourself. And yeah, I hope you're doing well, Terry. Good to see you here. And what's that you say? What's the next question? Well, I'll tell you what the next question is. I could have actually typed these before. But anyway, it's early days. It's early days. This is new technology, and it is all very exciting. Local anaesthetic versus general anaesthetic is your question. And for those of you who are not on audio, because I know you're out there, that's what the question is. Okay? So, evening. So can I do that? Can I show that to the people? Yes, I can. And then can I show that to Terri saying, yes, maybe I don't have to show all these comments, but where's the, I've lost the local anaesthetic thing that I put. Anyway, okay. Anyway, I was going to keep that out while I do this. I've got a plethora of smileys. What's that? Oh no, sorry, that's an unhappy one. Anyway, there is, we've got a patient who actually came this morning. Ooh, smileys has gone wrong. Hide. Right, the patient who came this morning who was having a local anaesthetic case. That's better. Oh look, Terri's put some in. Nice one, Terri. Right, who's having a local anaesthetic case. I'm not so sure about this software. Maybe it's a bit distracting. What do I want you to do? I'll tell you what I want you to do. I want you to do that. Please comment and share. Look at that. Patient came this morning who had been starved for a local anaesthetic case, and he was really hungry, and he wanted to know. Kate Odell, look at that! Yes, live question. Live question. Oh, I've got an Amazon delivery. Oh God. Right. Kate Legend. I'm going to hide that, and I'm going to answer it in a minute, as if you asked it in a minute, because I'm going to do the local anaesthetic, general anaesthetic one. But that is Kate. If I can't like, actually, I don't think, because on the other one I could like the comment, even though I didn't often see it. But when I did see it, I could like it. Anyway, local anaesthetic and general anaesthetic. Right. So everything we do at the clinic, because this was at the clinic, is a local anaesthetic, which means you're totally awake and it's injection in the area, whatever the area is. You're awake, and the anaesthetic and goes in local in where it is. General anaesthetic is when you put to sleep. So you're he's gone. I didn't hear him knock on the door. He's done the delivery. General anaesthetic is where you put to sleep. General anaesthetic you need to be starved for. You need to be 6 hours pre-operatively. You need to be starved. So if it's a morning case, you normally starve from the night before. If it's an afternoon case, you starve from a light early breakfast in the morning. 6 hours pre-op. Often people will, the anaesthetist will let you drink clear fluids for up to 2 hours before. Clear fluids means something you can see through, so a cup of tea is no good. Sometimes I say black tea is all right, because you can sort of see through that. But anyway, no milk, definitely. But anyway, milk, if you have milk with your tea, it's like a meal. Well, the anaesthetist calls it like a meal. So, yeah, clear fluids for 2, so basically water. Keep it simple for 2 hours beforehand, but you've got to check with your anaesthetist. That's what we do, but some people are all different. The reason for that is because on an empty stomach, because in case you're sick and things, when you do the anaesthetic, they don't want you being sick and, I shouldn't talk about this, but being sick and going into the, into your lungs, inhaling the sick. Anyway, I don't know, that just sounds, I was going to do it. That just sounds miserable, doesn't it? Is that a miserable one? No, it's a sweaty one. Anyway, okay. So, if it's pure local anaesthetic, you can eat and drink normally. If it's something at the clinic, it'll be a local anaesthetic. Oh, we've got a live question. Oh my God, we've got another live question from Shona. Shona, you did a live comment earlier. Oh, screw it there. When I did that pre-Facebook thing, which I wasn't using this thing, so I couldn't put it up. But I thought, wow, I was only on it for like a minute, and you did a live thing. So, big up yourself. Before Shona, I'm going to answer that question definitely. So local anaesthetic, you can do normal, eat and drink normally. General anaesthetic, 6 hours before for food, and then you can often drink clear fluids up to 2 hours before. But that thing you should check with your anaesthetist or check with your doctor. Oh yeah, and in between there, you've got local anaesthetic with sedation. So what we do at the clinic is pure local anaesthetic. So if you've got a mole, a cyst, a small thing, you can have local anaesthetic with, sorry, that's pure local anaesthetic. If you have local anaesthetic with sedation, that's a level up from local anaesthetic. So that's often if you're having a bit, sorry, I'm going to hide that comment because I'm going to bring it back. So local anaesthetic with sedation was going to do bigger operations like breast augmentations and tummy tucks and things like that. You can do under local anaesthetic with sedation quite well. Tummy tucks quite big. You can do it, but it's quite a big op. And that is sort of like a general anaesthetic. So if you're having local anaesthetic with sedation, you should treat it with a general anaesthetic because it often requires an anaesthetist to be present, and you often will need to have the potential to convert it to a general anaesthetic. So we treat you. This is how we do it. We treat you like a general anaesthetic case, and so you'll be starved normally 6 hours before. Now, oh, what's this? I've got a comment here. How Shona says, how long must you not have alcohol for? No limit on it, Shona. Well, it's the same as the fluid, so 6 hours before. Having said that, you don't want to be drunk when you come to the hospital. We have had that, and we cancelled the case that the patient had been drinking till about 2 o'clock in the morning and had, fulfilled the 6 hour criteria, but they were intoxicated when they came to the ward. So we, within reason, you can have a glass of wine, I suppose, or a glass of beer the night before or something like that, but I wouldn't go crazy on it. Was it 24 hours or longer? Yeah, less than 24 hours. I said 6 hour thing. If you have a drink the night before, no one's going to say anything to you the next day. But you obviously don't want to be drunk and hungover and dehydrated, because that's the thing that alcohol can do, because you're going to be starved for 6 hours. So you don't run when you want to go excessive on the alcohol. So it's not unreasonable to do a 24-hour thing, but you don't have to wait for 24 hours. Meal out with husband and a couple of nights before surgery. Just checking. Yeah, absolutely fine. Yes, don't worry about that. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Right, I've got to get in sync because we have got a backlog now. We've got the tattoo on the chest. We've got, what was the other one? Only a glass or two. Absolutely fine, Shona, as long as you don't go crazy on it. The actual just having a bit of alcohol is absolutely fine. But I would say maybe have some water in the morning, because you don't want to be dehydrated for the surgery when you're being starved for that period of time. So it does dehydrate your alcohol. So you make sure you rehydrate yourself anyway. So yes, don't worry, relax. A couple of days before is absolutely fine. And oh, what's this? Question from Kate. Kate from, anyway, from Birmingham or whatever. Anyway, this is the life, isn't it? So, Kate, are patients registered on the breast implant register? Kate, now, have you had surgery? I think you've had surgery, haven't you? And when did you have surgery? We do it now, but we've just started doing it relatively recently. But you could register on it retrospectively if you haven't registered on it already. We send patients a form to opt in on the breast implant register, which is a recent thing. People often, I think the public out there think we know what's going on with breast implants, and we know what the rupture rate and the capsular contracture rate is, but we don't. The fact is we don't. Before, we had a breast implant register years ago, but then they stopped it. And so people are putting in implants, taking out implants were rupturing, all sorts of things were happening, and people were just doing it in their individual practices. So with the KEO review, and part of that was bringing a new a breast implant register, and then it's a voluntary thing, so you don't have to do it, but it's a good thing to do, I think, to register your implants with a central database. So then if there is one type of implants, because that PIP thing, with those dodgy implants, they were rupturing things. But again, people were just finding it in their own little worlds, thinking, oh, these implants are rupturing. But there wasn't a central body looking at all of the implants, thinking, hold on a minute, there's something wrong with these implants because they're rupturing more often than they should be. So that's what the National Register aims to do, pick up problems that might occur. So you're encouraged to do that. So if you haven't registered Kate, or if you don't think you are registered, I will look into it, because I think we know you, don't we? So I think we'll get in touch tomorrow, Kate, to talk about whether you're registered or not, and if you're not registered, give you the paperwork. It's just a form to fill in, and yeah, you need the details of the implants, which if you haven't got, we've got. I'm assuming we've done. I think we've done the surgery. If we've done, if that's if we've done the surgery, if we haven't, then so yeah. But now we send it out to everyone pre-op. Everyone gets it, but I don't know if you didn't, you may not have got it. So look at this, Antonietta. Have you got video now, Antonietta? Huh? You've got this wonderful background. For a person with changing blood pressure, this may represent a major risk factor for anaesthesia. Interesting question. Kate says, yes, please. Yes, I will. No problem. You are welcome. I've made a note of that, Kate, so that is going to get done. You write it down, it gets done. Oh, God. Oh, my Lord alive. Helen's put in a... My Lord. Got another question. This software is worth its weight in gold. Was this normally happening and I didn't even realize? I don't think it was, actually. I think it's just... Wow. Antonietta, hoping you got audio video, but if not, I'm going to answer your question right now. For a person with changes in blood pressure, this may represent that's more of a statement, really, but I don't necessarily agree if it's a start month. Blood pressure can be a problem, particularly high blood pressure for things like hematoma. It can be a risk factor if you're having surgery, because if your blood pressure is high, then it can increase your risk of bleeding, and so you have an increased risk of that complication following surgery. So it is a bit of a worry if you've got an uncontrolled high blood pressure. So we would say to you, if you have got blood pressure, certainly if you know that we got more coming in from Italy here. Antonietta's from Italy, and so is Anna. So buonasera tutti. So, oh, where's that one? So having an uncontrolled high blood pressure is a risk factor for surgery, and so you should get your blood pressure controlled and go and see your doctor and have it controlled before having surgery, especially elective surgery, which is what all this cosmetic surgery type stuff is, elective as it's planned. Weight fluctuations, when you're under anesthesia, they have a very good control of your blood pressure, so you don't tend to have weight fluctuations during anesthesia. So they can control your blood pressure during anesthesia, but fluctuations in your blood pressure at other time is bad. You know, you don't have higher than low, so that's something you need to get treated before having anesthesia. Before having an elective operation, you need to get your blood pressure controlled. But actually, while you're having the surgery, your blood pressure will be very well controlled because the anaesthetist will be able to completely control it. So, yeah, you need to avoid big weight fluctuations. Sorry, I've got that. Excuse me. Sorry. Dear, which you know what? I think I can put up another screen. I've seen people do that, which is something I was going to do today, but I haven't got that far in the instructions for this stuff, so I don't know how to do that. But that's something that's very exciting. I saw someone putting in other screens, and you know what else I can do? I can share. I can talk to you, or I can share the screen with you. I think I have to do something. You know what, Antonietta, you are very welcome. And if I could like that comment, I would. In fact, if I like them all, I think I should have clicked another box before I started the video, because I can then do shares of share the screen. So if you want to ask a question, I can invite you into the lobby. You can come into the lobby, and then I bring you on, and we do a split screen of you and me. What do you think? So yeah, Antonietta, you're very welcome. So we got a question live. I am aware that I've got my standard questions to go in, so I'm going to do this because I might lose it in the sea of. Which way is it? In the sea of questions. Helen says, do polyurethane implants give a more stuck-on appearance as they don't move around? Tia. I think that might be Tar. Thanks, Helen, very much for your question. No, they do not. You are absolutely right. A lot of people worry about this stuck thing about polyurethane implants. People come back and they do research. They say, oh, they're difficult to remove, aren't they, polyurethane implants? And all this. I'm like, yes, they are more difficult to remove, but that's not a major problem because you don't often have to remove them. And people think, oh, do they feel stuck on and they don't move? Now, as a rule, implants are a bit less mobile than normal breast tissue. So, as a rule, implants don't move as much as normal breast tissue. And some people like this. Some people, when they lie on their back, don't want them to sort of go in down to the sides. So they don't move as much as normal breast tissue, but they still do move a bit. They don't sort of stay stuck all the time. So when you jump up and down, they do move, or when you lie down, they do move. So this is implants in general. Polyurethane implants are not more or less movable than silicone implants. They do feel a bit firmer to start off with, and you're absolutely right. They do, what have you said, stuck on? Well, they sort of do, they become integrated with the tissues, and they do feel a bit firmer, and sometimes you can feel the edges and things, but they don't give a different look. When I first started using polyurethane implants, people would say to me, oh, can you show me some photos of people who got polyurethane implants? And I did some slides of people with polyurethane implants. And then I thought to myself, why am I doing this? Because they look exactly the same. You can't tell by looking whether someone's got polyurethane implants or silicone implants. They look the same. Dimensions are similar. They just look the same as silicone implants, but they are slightly more difficult to remove because that's not a big problem. To feel a bit firmer, sometimes for the edges of them and things like that. So there are some issues with this integration of the scar tissue with the implant. But as far as the appearance goes, no, they don't look more stuck on. The stuck on appearance is more like the profile. So an extra, the higher profiles, extra high profiles and things give a more stuck on and fuller look. That's the sort of stuck on appearance, and you can get that with silicone or polyurethane implants. So it's not so much the implant that is causing that stuck on appearance. So, what's that? Who am I? That's who I am. How often is this? Okay, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. What do I want you to do? Scroll it through, comment and share. Oh, Tia is thanks in advance, is it? Okay, okay, sorry. Not up with the TLAs. Yeah, 3-letter abbreviations. Sorry about that. Thank you for your answer. Yeah, you're welcome. YW. Oh. Looks a bit rubbish, doesn't it? Anyway, yeah, you're very welcome, Helen. Hope that's been helpful. Tattoo, no, local, yes, tattoos. Chap who's just inquired just now, just all this afternoon, big tattoo on the chest, and we said no, it's too big, he can't have it removed, and he's a bit upset at that because he thinks he wants to have it removed, and even if he has some of it removed, can we do laser for the rest? It's a really bad area for a scar. The chest, it's sort of across the chest. It's a really bad area for a scar. The chest doesn't tend to scar well. There's risk of lumpy scarring, and the tattoo is just way too big for excision. So I just don't even think of there's anywhere to start with it, to be honest with you, because it'll be the worst of both worlds. You'll have a scar, which is potentially a bad scar, and a tattoo, because we're not going to be able to get rid of it all. There are bits of red in it, which I think they will struggle with the laser. But rather than cutting bits out and then seeing what the laser would do, my advice would be to get the laser on it, first, and then if there's anything the laser can't do, so if those bits of red are sort of prominent, you could potentially cut them out. But I've got to say, I think the scar will be worse than the tattoo, in my advice. So big thing on the chest. Sorry, I don't think that's a good thing to have removed. Sorry about that. And we've got a chap, I don't know, I can't remember if I talked about this last week, because I know he inquired before and then has come back. He's had a gynecomastia somewhere else, and he's got some dents, which he's never done, very unhappy, and I think I've seen some photographs of it. But I said maybe fat grafting, but scar revision is always difficult. He's now come back and said, why can't you just release the scar and then fill that area where the scar has been released with fat? And I can understand why you're saying that, but you can't do that, because when you release the scar, I can't have my helmets on, can I? Can't have my helmets on with this. Not that, that's part of it, but, just just came into my head that when you release the scar, whenever you get a scar, tethered scar, pulled in scar, that's the problem. Whenever you've done surgery, there's scarring. If you take away fatty tissue from the chest area, and you take away the fatty tissue and you replace that with scar, if the scar tethers to the skin and it tethers to the muscle, you can get a dent. Particularly when you move the muscle, you can get it twitching. So if you just release the scar, you'll leave a space, and that space will fill with more scar. So if you just release the scar, that's the problem. The space fills with more scar, and you've done nothing. If you release the scar, if you cut the scar, boom, everything looks great. And you think, oh crikey, well, how am I going to stop that space filling with scar tissue? If you inject fat into that space, the fat will die. When you do fat injections, it's called fat grafting. Now, a graft is a piece of tissue that has to get its blood supply from the recipient plate, the recipient bed. So it's like you take some tissue from somewhere and you put it somewhere else, and it gets its blood supply from the place where you put it. So when you put a graft on, it's like a skin graft, when you put a graft on the skin, it has to get a blood supply from the wound bed that you're putting it on. Similarly, when you put injecting fat, it has to get a blood supply from the surrounding tissues. So you have to inject it in very, very small aliquots in parcels of injection into the tissue, and each aliquot has to be surrounded by vascularized tissue, and so that little piece of fat will survive. If you inject a big blob of fat, the bit around the outside might survive, but the bit in the middle will die, it might get infected, might form an abscess. So it is not a good idea to just release that scar, make a space, and then fill that space with fat, because that fat will die, probably get infected, it'll just discharge out, and it'll be a bad thing to do. So you have to inject the fat in very small aliquots. And what you have to do when you're doing it with the scar is you have to try and get it into the scar. You can't just make a big release of the scar and you have to inject it into the scar to try and get some fat into the scar. And it's really difficult to do, because if it's frustrating, it's difficult, and the tendency is to put it in the places where it's easy to put the fat, which is on either side of the scar. I have talked about this, I think, but anyway, on either side of the scar, building up the bit on either side of the scar, so you make a dent bigger, so you make your dent worse. And so it seems like an easy problem, but it is not an easy problem. Au contraire, it's a difficult problem, and there is no easy answer. So I would be careful about having revision surgery. I know your surgeon said that they can do scar revision. It is difficult, and it's hard to guarantee results with scar revision, because you're dealing with the way your body scars, and that's an unpredictable thing. But I suppose we're dealing with that all the time. But it's particularly difficult with scars when you're operating on a scar, a scar of a scar. So that's that. That's me. I think I've answered all my question. That, I think I can safely say that is the best one, for me anyway, I've ever done. I've had live comments. I've answered those comments live. It's just, I am happy about that. I've been looking forward to this all day, and when I found out about this thing where you put stuff on the screen, I thought that's fantastic. I can put stuff like that, I can put stuff like that, and I could probably put other stuff. If I'd written some other stuff, I could have put some other stuff. So yeah, thank you so much, Helen, Antonietta, Anna, Kate, Shona. Let's not forget Shona. Shona was here earlier on giving me hands, or I don't know what it was, a clap maybe. So let's not forget Shona. We cannot forget Shona. Terri was here. Oh, Jane was here. Did Jane is here? Good evening, Jane. I don't know if we showed that, Terri. Of course, Kirsten was here. Who could forget Kirsten? And I mean, it's just been emotional. So I'm going to go and have a lie down now. Sorry, how do I get that off? I'm going to go and have a lie down. I suggest you do likewise. Next week, I am so looking forward to this. And if we can keep this up, guys, honestly, I'll put the camera at a different angle, sort out my backdrop. I might get a green screen. Yeah, have the Amazon rainforest, whatever. Oh my God, we've got another question live. Surely not. Surely not. Steph has asked another question live. How do we pronounce your name? That's fantastic, Steph. That's fantastic, Steph. I don't mind, Steph. I am not precious about it. I really don't mind. I get all sorts. Stainos, Staignano, Stainer, Stains. I say Staiano. Stiano. Oh, Jonathan is the first one. I'm presuming you know how to pronounce that. So yeah, Stiano is how I do it. Oh, Terri's come in with a late one. Terri, you're a legend. Steph, Stiano is the answer to that. Sorry? Why is Steph saying sorry? Steph, don't say sorry. Anyone who brings a question to this party is not going to say sorry, I tell you. Because what is the idea of this? Let's not forget. Comment and share. I'm supposed to put the share thing, but, comment, definitely. I don't know how you share, but definitely comment, Steph. And you just commented. So I'm not having sorry. Thank you for commenting. Stiano is the answer. Now, if it is possible to have another question, we have got another one. Terri, thank you very much. What other surgery do you do? What kind of question is that, Terri? You're just looking randomly for other surgery. I do most of my work is breast and body contouring. Oh my god. I don't know if I should look at that. Oh my lord. Hold on a minute. I think it's sunburnt. What's going on? Handsome like piano. Yeah, thank you, Steph. Blimey O'Reilly. Steph, what's going on? Okay, right, thank you. Very kind, Steph, very kind. Oops, no, sorry. It's embarrassing. I've got my wife next door, Steph, so, keep it down. What other surgery do you do? Antonietta. All day long. I should start this earlier, shouldn't I? Well, no, I'm okay. It's not too late, is it? 22 days, all right. Whoa. Antonietta, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do your question in a minute. Well, it's not really, but anyway. Sorry, Terri. So I do breast and body contouring, Terri. So everything in the breast, you name it, lifts, asymmetries, tuberous breast deformity, congenital abnormality, obviously implants, inverted nipple, areola reduction, breast reconstruction. I do all types of breast reconstruction, implants, flaps. I do pedicle flaps, so flaps in the back, lap dorsi, tummy flaps, free flap, diep flap. Don't do so much pre-ep, which is the tummy one that brings up. So any sort of nipple reconstruction, anything in the breast reconstruction arena, mainly cosmetic breast these days. Body, tummy tucks, arm reduction, thigh lifts, liposuction. So yeah, I do mainly breast and body. I also do some skin. So I do mole cysts, skin cancer, BCCs, SCCs, melanoma. Work with a couple of dermatologists who, refer me patients for, well, I self-refer as well. And, other sort of skin surgery like the tattoo and what have you. The main thing I don't do is I don't do facial plastic surgery. So I don't do rhinoplasty, nose jobs. I don't do facelifts. I don't do blepharoplasties. I don't do brow lifts. I don't do non-surgical. So I don't do Botox fillers, all those sorts of things. You could have asked me tomorrow, Terri, but I am very glad you asked me tonight, actually, because I'm going to shake you by the hand tomorrow and say thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. But yeah, I don't do the facial cosmetic surgery, fillers and all the Botox and all that rhinoplasty. We've got a surgeon at the clinic who does do that sort of thing, but the main focus that I'm trying to focus the clinic on is doing is the breast and body, because that's where we're really strong. The breast and body contouring, and we're doing quite a lot of skin. In fact, we've got another surgeon just coming to work with who does a lot of skin, a lot of skin in the NHS. So yeah, that's growing the skin, because we can do that at the clinic, so you don't have to go to the hospital for that. Yeah, so we're doing a lot of that sort of thing. So yeah, but if you're interested in anything really, I know people, so I can always maybe put you in the direction if you want any facial stuff. We know people who do facial stuff, non-surgical stuff like that. But thanks for asking the question, Terri, and I'm going to put this, what I would like to talk about, breast reduction. I hope you can soon make a transmission on this. Thanks. I'll tell you what, Antonietta, I can definitely make a transmission on breast reduction. I can talk all day long about breast reduction. Yeah, it's, yeah, I can do that. Shall I do it? Yeah, yeah, okay. Main thing, as I said, about breast reduction is a big op. I'd love to share the screen. I might do that next time. See if I can share the screen. Actually, maybe I shouldn't do that because I was going to say the scarring. But if I start showing scarring of breast reduction, that might put people off. I won't do that. I'm not going to show scarring of breast reduction, but you can talk about that. But yeah, the scarring of the breast reduction is something to be aware of. Yeah, it's a good op because it lifts and reduces the volume of the breasts. But it is quite a big op, and there's quite a few things you have to be aware of, potential for complications and things like that. So you have to have a bit good discussion with your surgeon about it. Yeah. If you, I'll tell you what, Antonietta, I hope I'm saying, yeah, this is like my name. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Yeah, if you've got specific questions about breast reduction, I'm very happy to talk about that. I've got information on my website, got a Q&A. Oh, you know what? I'm going to try some, while I'm talking, I'm going to be talking, and I'm going to try something. I've got a Q&A, frequently asked questions guide on my website. So you can download my guide with some frequently asked questions about breast reduction. So, but yeah, if you've got any questions, then I will be specific about. I don't know what you saw there. What did you see there? I'll have to have a look. There's the. Oh God, that's Freddie calling me now. I wonder if that's clickable. Is that a clickable link? Anyway, go to the website and the breast reduction page. There's some info on it. Anyway, what happens when I do that? So yeah, and you can download a guide, PDF, so you can just download a PDF, Antonietta. But as I say, if you've got specific questions, I'm very happy to talk about that. And Antonietta, you've been a legend tonight as well. I'm going to say, I don't know who wins tonight because there's been some real good contributors today, and I thank you all for that. Best ever. I think we'll find, and I'm going to check out now, if that's all right. Normally, I'm saying, well, if there's any comments and I missed them. And look at this, comments everywhere, comments coming out our ears. But again, if there is any comments, because I think sometimes comments come after the broadcast and I can't quite tell when they've come. I'm going to do that. Big hand. Yeah. High five. What is that? Is that high five or TIA? If there's any comment, if there is comments afterwards, I will answer them and go through them next week. Was there stuff from last week I was supposed to do this week? Just the polyurethane thing that I did, I think. So checking myself out, and I am emotional, really am. That was really good for me. Thank you all very much. Very, very happy about that. So if it's all right with everybody, I'm going to go live. I mean, go non-live. And, you never know. Could be you sharing the screen with me next week. If I can get that, I'll try that split screen thing. If anyone's up for sharing the screen. Not sure if I'm up for that. Actually, that could be a recipe for disaster. But anyway, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Shona, on behalf of myself and all my other contributors and yourself, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you. Good night. Look at the screen. Well, good night.